Hi, everyone. Go ahead and get started today. Let's start on our backs today. If laying on your back is uncomfortable, feel free to do a different option, such as seated or child's pose. Finding yourself on the mat. Your legs can be out long if you're choosing to be on your back, or you can have your feet wide and your knees knocked together. Taking deep breaths. We're going to do a slow flow today. Still going to work some strength, but we're just going to work at a slower pace today. Start checking in with the way your body feels in this moment. Accepting how it feels. Acknowledging how it feels in this moment. Coming back to your breath. And then focusing on how you emotionally feel in this moment. Not labeling any emotion as bad or good, but accepting yourself. Then coming to your mind, acknowledging if your mind is present, if it's wondering if you have certain things on your mind, accepting it, acknowledging it, not trying to fight it. And then coming back to your breath, focusing on your deep inhales and exhales, your belly rise on the inhale, fall on the exhale. Imagine pushing that belly breath down into your hips, your legs, your feet. I like to start by just focusing on my hips. Imagine sending breath to these parts of your hip area. Imagine the muscles in your hips just contracting, releasing, letting go of any emotions, any stress, any trauma we've held on to this moment. Really letting everything go, just imagining it all melt onto your mat. Imagining just you in your space, just you in your mat, nothing else. Focusing on any areas that feel stressed or tense in the lower parts of your body. Couple more breaths here, just focusing on the lower part of your body. Then imagining pushing that belly breath up into your chest, into your torso, your shoulders. Imagining your heart, your chest is opening up, pressing those shoulders down. Using your spine as a pathway up to your neck. Taking your time. focusing on any areas that feel stressed or tense. Good. And coming to our 3-part breath, filling your belly up all the way, holding it at the top, and slowly out through your mouth, breath by breath. Good. A couple more times. Good. With each exhale, just imagine letting out that breath, that stress, letting it all go. Good. Then if your legs are down or if you're in a different position, finding your way down to the mat, to your back. And you're going to have your feet mat width apart, opening your arms at a T. And then you're going to drop your legs to the left side, staggering them. See how they're not touching, that hips up in the air. Good. And then widening to the other side, to the right side. Good. Going back and forth. Breath by breath. Taking it slow, pushing that hip high. One more time on the other side. Good. Walking those feet in. Bringing your arms by your side. And then pushing up for bridge pose. Push those hips high. Have your hands anchored into the mat or bring them under you. Pushing up. Engaging the back muscles. Slowly lowering down, unclasp your hands by going halfway, seeing how my butt's not touching that, and then just pulse up for 3 breaths. Good. Lowering back down all the way this time. Bring knees into your chest, rocking side to side, front to back. Really letting your low back roll onto the mat. Opening up your knees here, just letting them widen, rocking back and forth. Breathing in through your belly, letting it out through your mouth. One more time. Good. Then point your feet high to the sky, widening your legs for happy baby here. Having your knees pressed towards your armpit area. Deep breaths here. You can stretch out one, bring it down, stretch out the other, or bring both up, maybe lifting those hips off the mat a little bit, rolling them back down. Good. Bring the soles of your feet together, keeping them up, widening your legs here. Deep breaths here, letting your belly rise on the inhale, fall on the exhale. Closing your knees, bring your knees back into your chest, rocking side to side. To help roll up to seated, you can cross your ankles and you can grab them just to rock up. Finding yourself in an easy seat. Spine long, shoulders pulled back. Deep breaths here. Good. Starting with your neck circles, going around one way, working slowly. Feeling each round. Bring chin in towards chest, and then go the other direction. Working your way around, keeping your hips pressed onto the mat. Bring your chin in towards chest. You can rock side to side here. Getting into each muscle. High to the sky here, rocking front to back, or side to side, sorry. Looking high. Good, and come to the right side. You can move your arm around here, you can just hold it. Back through center. Go to the left side, having the option to extend your arm out long. Deep inhales and exhales here. Coming through the center. And then we're going to bring our hands to our legs and we're going to go around. You can almost do a cat-cow movement here, rounding and going forward, or just rolling. And then roll the other way. Good. And then we're going to bring our left knee to the front, and we're going to stack our right on top of each other. If you don't have, if that's a little tight, you can always plant that foot, or just having a loose thing here. We're bringing that right arm high to the sky, dropping it behind you. Feeling free to use a strap here, just your shirt. Extending that left arm around, grabbing onto your shirt, and walking up. Spine long, shoulders pulled back. Last breath here. Good. Release your arms, opening and closing them here. Then grabbing on to the earth or that knee, pushing that hip back, folding over. Pushing that hip back. Back up. Have that foot planted if it's not already. That right foot into the left side, right arm behind you, left arm for the twist. Hooking, you can have it on the earth or using the elbow out and then looking to the side. Slowly looking over your shoulder. Back through center, grab that knee. Then release, stacking the right foot leg in front, left leg on top. Remember, you can have your feet loosely. You can loosen this a little bit. Left arm high. Thread it under you. Bring that right arm around. Grabbing onto your shirt, your jacket. Spine long, shoulders pulled back. Good. Releasing your hands, pressing into the front, pushing your hips back, grabbing a mat or your knee, folding over, keeping your spine long, feeling it here in that left hip. Good. Walking up, planting that left foot into the right side of the mat. Right arm behind you, left arm behind you, right arm for the hook. Looking out to the side. Slowly looking over that shoulder. Good. Back through center. Grabbing that knee. Good. Then come into tabletop. Rest under shoulders, hips over knees. And then we're going to do rounds of cat-cow here, bringing your chest forward, shoulders back. Then exhale, rounding. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. Going back and forth. Moving around, feeling any movement here as you rock back and forth. Good. Then we're going to walk our right hand through center. Bring that right knee to the mat, extending your calf around. Extending this left leg, bringing that left arm high. Breathing here. Having the option to extend or to remain on the mat. Pushing that hip high, trying to stack your hips here. 3 breaths, whichever choice you chose. Good. Dropping that leg back down if it's not already. Rising up for a gate pose. Right arm high, left arm down, the left leg. Feeling it here in the side. Then we're going to move that knee, bringing that calf around. And then grabbing this, you can keep your leg on the ground or you can lift those toes. Bringing your hips back through center. Coming into a half split here. Folding over. Good. Coming back to gate pose, dropping that toe. Right arm high, left arm down. Breathing here. Extending your legs out, your arms out in front of you, widening your stance here, pressing back and forth. Feeling free to use your elbows to slide back and forth almost like a dolphin. Good. 3 breaths wherever you're at. Good. Walk back. Coming back into your supported side plank. Left arm high for 3 breaths. Good. And slide that foot out to the side. Having the left arm high. Threading it under you like you're about to drop your shoulder. Inhale, rise. Exhale, thread. Inhale, rise. Do this 3 more times on your own breath. Really opening up here as you extend up. Last one. Good. Bring that hand back into the mat. Walk that right hand to the right side of the mat. Extend that left leg out long. Bringing toes to the mat. Pushing back, getting into that calf. Then bring those hips back over those knees. Lift that leg high. Then engage your core. Lifting up the right arm here. Engaging your core. Good. Dropping back to tabletop. Bring those big toes together. Sit back for child's pose. Relaxing your forehead, letting your heels sit back onto, or your tailbone sit back onto your heels. Last 3 breaths here. Good. Walk back into tabletop. Bring those toes to the mat. Lift up for down dog here. Walk that dog ring, 1 heel high, 1 heel low. Fingers spread wide. 5 breaths here. Walking up to your hands for your forward fold here. Deep knee bend, pushing those hips back. Inhale, halfway lift, finding a flat back. Shoulders back, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising, high to the sky. Stretching tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Mountain pose. 3 breaths here. Inhale, rise. Cactuses, arms for a back bend, looking high. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. One more time, high to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Mountain pose. 3 deep breaths. Inhale, rise. Cactus, your eyes for the back bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Finding your legs straighter here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Planting your hands, stepping back through plank or tabletop. Lowering all the way down. Pressing into an upper baby cobra here. Fully extending to a high cobra for 2 breaths. Then pushing back, coming into an almost child's pose here. Stretching the shoulders. Curling back up into tabletop. I'm going to twist sides for you. So now we're going to walk our left hand through the center. Extend that right leg long. Extend that right arm long for your supported side plank. Feeling free to lift that leg for a challenge, opening up, stacking your hips, or keeping your foot on the mat and just stacking your hips. 3 breaths. Good. Dropping it back down. Extending up into gate pose. Extending that calf behind your knee. Bringing that right arm down the right leg. Left arm high. Folding over. Keeping your shoulders pulled back. With you're just using this side to extend. Folding down. Pushing it back to feel it in your hip. Good. Extending back with that arm raised high. Good. Then you're coming over to that side, turning that calf behind you, extending that left leg or that right leg long with those toes high, like you're in your half split here. Keeping your hips centered, folding over. Good. Walking your hands out to the side, extending that leg long, pressing back and forth here. Lifting those toes if you want. Good. Then walking back with that right arm high, right leg extended. 3 breaths. Good. Slide that right leg long. And then thread under. Then raise up, pushing that hip up. 3 more. 2 more. Good. Last one. Good. Then extend that leg back long. Bring that right arm to the mat. Right toes to the mat, pushing back. Getting into that calf. Dropping your booty. See how it was lifted. Bringing it back down. Then extending that leg out long. And then extending the left arm out long. Engaging your core. Good. Dropping back into tabletop. Bring those big toes back together. Sit back for child pose. Taking deep breaths here. Last breath here. Rising up onto your knees. Bringing hands to heart center. Inhale, rise. Bring that right hand to the mat. Bringing that left hip up. Rising up. Left arm extended over your head. And then rise up, hands high. Doing the same here. Left hand to the mat, lowering down, pushing that hip forward. Good. Rising back. And you're going to slowly lower back, leaning forward. Lower and keeping your body straight. Feeling it in the arch here in your back. If you want to bring your hands to your back. Coming into camel here. Neck pulled back. Good. Extend those arms back out long, leaning back. Back up high. Back into tabletop. Looking over the right shoulder. Looking over the left shoulder. Wagging your tail. And then bringing toes to the mat. Lift up for down dog. Fingers spread wide. Walking your dog. Moving around here. 5 breaths here. Looking between your hands. Stepping up for a forward fold here. Finding your legs straighter. Pushing those hips back. When I mean pushing your hips back, if you feel that your Tailbone is tucked under a little bit, just extending it like it was trying to reach the sky. Want your low back to be high to the sky. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, high to the sky, stretching tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Mountain pose, 3 deep breaths. Inhale, rise. Cactus is arms for back bend. Keeping your hips centered, bring the right arm to the front, left arm back. Back through center. Right elbow back, left elbow forward. Pressing shoulders back. Extending high to the sky. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. One more time, flat back. Exhale, fold. Planting your hands, stepping back through plank or tabletop. Lowering down to the mat. Pressing into your hands for cobra. And then sitting back onto those knees for a child's pose version, stretching those arms out. Bringing your armpits like they're coming closer to the mat, really extending here. Waving back into tabletop. Extending those legs around. Oh. Bringing your knees into your chest. Arms at a T here. Drop them to the right side. Looking over that left shoulder. Extending that hip high to feel a twist here in your low back. Your hips pressed down, you won't feel it as much. Extending it here. Deep breaths here. Last 3 breaths. Good. Bring knees back through center. Drop them over to the left side. Lifting that hip high. Looking over that right shoulder. Deep breaths here. Focusing on that low back. Good. Last 3 breaths here. Good. Coming back through center. Bringing those knees back into your chest. Rocking side to side. Maybe doing some circles here. Good. Maybe working that core a little bit by pulling your knees back and forth. Good. And extending those legs out long. Finding a comfortable position. Just letting your legs hang. Deep inhale and exhale here. letting your body come into stillness, letting your mind slowly fade into stillness. If you find that difficult, just imagine focusing on your breath, remembering it's just you and your mat, nothing else. Before we end, tell me just something you're most grateful for about today, whether it's something small or large. Telling yourself why you're grateful for this thing. And then coming into your 3-part breath, breathing in, filling your belly up all the way, holding it at the top, and then slowly letting it out breath by breath. Good. 3 more. With each exhale, just imagine letting go of any stress, any tension, really letting it all fade out. Good. Slowly bring awareness into your body. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Oh, recline onto one side into the fetal position using one hand as a pillow. Good. Then slowly pushing up. Spine long, shoulders pulled back. 3 breaths. Bringing your hands to your forehead for good thoughts, to your mouth for good words, and to your heart for good intentions. Namaste. Good. Thank you, everyone who came and participated. I will be back here Saturday at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Sorry. I hope to see you then. Have a great week.